Okay, so I'm really confused here. So Warner Brothers Games went to Rocksteady and said, hey, we want you to make another Arkham universe game. But we don't want it to be like the major success that was Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. No, we want you to do a live service game based off of the Suicide Squad, and they're going to kill the Justice League from the same Arkham universe. We're then going to cancel a Wonder Woman game and also release a separate Batman game called Gotham Knights and make that very grindy, and it's not based off of the Arkhamverse. It's going to be its own separate thing, even though it looks more similar to the Arkhamverse than Suicide Squad does. Yeah, that sounds about right. A ton of Rocksteady employees and developers say, F that, I am not going to be a part of this crazy, corporate takeover where we just want to make the biggest microtransaction online game system ever. And so a lot of them leave and start their own company. And the ones that stayed, they worked on a game that was just set to failure. Who would have thought that no one wants to play the Suicide Squad where it's just a looter shooter with very grindy season passes and a very, very unfun experience from the majority of people that played it. It had a huge player base at the very beginning to just see what it was like. Some people were objectively saying that the gameplay was fine when you're playing with a bunch of other people. The movement felt good. The graphics were great. But then you had the story where they had some controversy where they killed off Kevin Conroy's Batman character. They made it so that it was like, the Suicide Squad were like the cool good guys and the Justice League was cringe, and the writing was just all over the place and was not at the same level as the previous Rocksteady Batman Arkham games. And on top of that, like I said, it was just a microtransaction, season pass, grinding, playing like 50 hours just to get like the most basic things. You're playing as these cool DC characters, but you have to use guns and stuff. It just did not work, and Warner Brothers rightfully got laughed out of existence on this. There's so many videos on YouTube breaking down how awful the game is, how not fun it is. The player count died immediately to the point where they had to rush out the season pass roadmap and then be like, all right, let's kill the game in a year because of how devastating it was. So what did Warner Brothers Games decide to do next? Well, they're talking about doing another live service game. That's one thing. There's a whole, LinkedIn or Indeed job posting for a producer, an executive producer, whatnot, for a live service DC IP-based game. So I guess they're just going to double down again and just try this for the second time, because, it wasn't like Suicide Squad was like a billion-dollar failure. It wasn't a billion, but it was definitely like in the 200 million or something like that. It was absolutely insane how much money they lost on that game. But I guess, hey, when you got money to throw at the wall, they're going to do it again, and then they'll just fire all the developers once the game doesn't, launch well. We'll see. Or maybe it'll be peak. Who knows? But the other game they decided to do, and what we're going to talk about for the rest of this video, framing. See, I'll just kind of framing it all around, is a Lego Batman game that the mechanics are based off of the Arkham games. So it all just kind of... You see my confusion here? Where they had a layup just to do another single-player Arkham game, but then decided to do Suicide Squad, and then now that Suicide Squad is dead and in the water, they're like, let's do an Arkham game, but let's just make it Batman and like the Lego property instead. I have played all of the Arkham games, and I adore them, from the story to the gameplay, and I would definitely say the Arkham games saved comic book video games in a sense, because a lot of comic book video games base their combat system and the overall structure off of the Arkham games. Look at even like Spider-Man for the PlayStation. That heavily is similar to the Arkham battle mechanics and stuff like that. Sure, there's some different changes here and there, but overall it kind of helped shape the really good combat systems for comic book games. So when they pivoted away, it didn't make sense, and now they're kind of like pseudo coming back, but instead of having Rocksteady do it, They're gonna have the Lego people do it, and I'm just confused on the optics here. I'm sure there's a different parallel universe where they were smart enough to just do a fourth Arkham game. It's just crazy to me because you had a layup, you fell face flat on it, you went to Suicide Squad instead, and now you're back here. You could have released an Arkham game and then had somebody else, a different studio, do a Suicide Squad multiplayer experiment and see if it worked or not, and not dumped millions of dollars into that. I digress. It's just a little bit bizarre to me that this is the approach that they're doing. I really like the Arkham games. I really like the mechanics, so that's not really my concern with this upcoming Lego Batman game. I really don't have a concern with it. It looks really good. It looks like a very, innovative Lego video game. I want to emphasize, out of video games, there's nothing really crazy here, but for a Lego video game, they're really trying to push the imagination and go a little bit further, and they're adding a bigger flair to it. What the Arkham games couldn't do was that they were very grounded and very gritty and very realistic. Since this is Lego, you can have a little bit more fun, a little bit more flair. You have the pows, the pops. Batman throws pies at people. It's silly. It's for kids, but adults can enjoy it as well. So it's kind of a positive and negative because you can't tell the more darker storylines of Batman in a way that's going to be as impactful or emotional. But also it's Lego, so I don't think you're really looking for that in a Lego game. You're just looking to have fun. The puzzles that they've shown off, because they did a whole 30-minute gameplay thing at Gamescom, IGN released the video on it. That's probably what you're seeing on the screen here, unless they tell me to take it down. And the puzzles seem a lot more interesting than the Arkham games, so that'll be fun to see and test out. Looks like you can switch between Jim Gordon and Batman. You can do a bunch of other things that you couldn't do in the Arkham games, and I think the Lego universe allows you to do that. The Lego Gotham looks great. It's more of an open world map, and the biggest pull in is because this is called Legacy of the Dark Knight. They're pulling from iconic moments in the comics and movies of Batman. So it's going to be very meta, and Lego does this all the time with their video games and properties, but there's just something about this, since there's so much history with Batman, as a Batman fan, as a diehard Batman fan, this could be very exciting, but I'm also kind of concerned because I don't want the most badass, coolest Batman moments to be undercut by a Lego gag, or because it's a Lego sort of environment, you just you don't really get the same thing, right? And I mean, nothing is going to match the original source material that they're basing things off, but I do hope that they add a little bit of a spin to it. And yeah, I'm very curious how this is going to go. The bigger story here is going to be how successful this game is when it launches, how many people play it, how many people buy it, because it's going to further prove that, the single-player Batman experience was always what the player base wanted if it is successful and it is a good game and it does sell well, and it's just going to make Warner Brothers look foolish. So yeah, that's really the story that I'm interested in seeing after this. And of course, if I hear good things about the game, if it gets good ratings and people are saying that, it's one of the best Lego games out there, I will definitely check it out. I'm not a huge Lego fan, Lego game player, but Batman is kind of my thing. So I know I'll get a kick out of some references and stuff as long as they don't, ruin that magic, as I said before. So what do you guys think? Are you excited for the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight game? Let me know down in the comments, and if you're not, I would like to know as well. What are your concerns? What are you excited about? Do you think this is such a weird move for Warner Brothers Games? I'm very curious for everyone's thoughts, and yeah, that's going to wrap it up. I'm OCDsaster, and see ya.